Hi guys, today we're going to look at an interesting topic of how to really get the most value out of ourselves and really sort of move forward in our potential. So classically in a standardized job we have a whole list of things to do and most people will just sit there and just go through the list. Very few people have that little thought process of, could I do this better? I worked for a water filtration company actually a couple of years ago, and in that I was in customer service originally, and after a period of time I actually got moved over to the projects department and became the projects department purely because of some of the stuff that I was doing. What I found that there was a glitch in the database, and as a result of upgrading, and it caused a whole bunch of mess. And so what I found is, as I was working through it, I found it easier to tidy things up as I went along. So rather than taking on more individual tasks, what I would do is I would follow it through to make sure things happen properly, to become better quality at things. Over time I learned that doing that made my life easier down the track when they would call back, and so I would find that in that same process things would make life easier basically. Hence how I got moved over to the projects department in the long run. And so in doing that, before I would actually undertake a task or go to fix something, I would think it through as to what the long-term results were and figure out what was the best solution to get through that. Nowadays I run a couple of different companies, and 12 months ago in business I was like, how am I going to get through this list of how much I have to do? There is just so much in it. And one of the first things I came across was a project management system that I was able to record everything that had to be done and structure it so I could become more systemized and automated in what I do. So that was a brilliant starting point there. What I also found is that I then asked myself the question is, when I wrote down something that had to be done, a task that had to be done, did it actually have to be done now, or did it just have to get done at some point in time? And in that differentiation I was able to figure out that a lot of the things that I thought had to be done really weren't that essential at that point in time. And so I was able to leave them on the shelf. Now the value of leaving on the shelf is they were sitting in the back of my mind and waiting, and so I would actually undertake that task, but not until I found a better way of doing it. And so I would sit on it for a while and wait, and then eventually one day something would click in my head and I'd be like, I now have figured out an easier way of doing that. And so whilst I would do tasks on a need basis when they needed to happen, if they didn't need to happen at that point in time, I would leave them be. And as a result, I would come up with better ways to do them. Now, this formula has just gone across the board in what I do, because now I integrate outsourcing and bring in other specialists, and I really sort of start to bring things in together. Secondly, I now template everything I do, because I know that running multiple companies, chances are I'm going to have to do the same thing for different companies. So I now create a template of the process so that next time I have to do it, I can do it faster. First time I built a website took me 12 months. Second time, 6 months. Third time around, 1 month. And soon to be down to a week. And the value of that is that because I've templated the process, before I send the stuff off to other people to do, I know exactly what I have to do. And so I'll go through that list there. Now, the more and more I do that, the more I discover, if I bring on the right people, how I can outsource those tasks as well and get other people to do those bits and contribute more into it. So I'm physically doing less and less and less. And that really is the value of working smarter. Now, in any workplace that is possible. To top it off, if you're working with a team, there are certain things that you can do as an individual person because you do them best for other people. Now the value of that is, not only do you do it better and faster than them, they will then potentially return the favour and do things for you that they could do better. And you're really starting to optimise the people you work with and becoming specialists in particular areas. Now if you work as a team like that, things can happen 10 times easier and 10 times faster. And that really is the value of working smarter rather than harder. Now, this fits across the board. You can do this in your education. People who sit down and systemize things in their study allow them to really focus and pinpoint on certain areas. Now, I teach this to high school students in themselves, working smarter rather than harder, because I think that if we were to really structure things and tidy things and focus and pinpoint and work in a systemized manner, A, we do less work, and B, we get better results. Simple as that. I mean, the classic is the 4-hour work week. People in business who do a 4-hour work week and their business is automated and runs through systemization. Now, that's what I'm working towards. I'll still work full time. I would rather work in 10 companies 4 hours a week and still do 40 hours than just work 4 hours a week, even though I could. Purely because I like the challenge. So in that basis there, the element of working smarter is there's always a bazillion and one ways to do it, and I only know some of them. And if you go through more of my videos, you'll start to see a whole lot of the shortcuts that I've come up with. The real value of it is go out there and do some research. Other people do it better than me. There's no question behind that. There are people out there who are way more advanced than me that have this down pat like no tomorrow, and they all do it in different ways. And so I go out there, check them out, hunt them down, find them, and figure out which one of them is most like you and model them. Thanks for watching, guys. This is Working Smarter Rather Than Harder, and I hope this is massive value to you, and I hope that it can really give you something. Catch you later. Bye.